Hello and welcome to a Sunday drive with me, Gavin Fish. If you're new to my channel, these Sunday drives are just kind of informal little videos to tell you what I've been working on. Usually to kind of let you know what's coming up in my next deep dive video, which is on Wednesday. So I've got two things to update you on I want to tell you about. One of them in the Delphi case, and one of them in the Sarah Easton case, so stick with me and we'll talk about those two things. Okay, I don't want to bury the lead here. Let's talk Delphi, Abby and Libby. So something happened a couple of weeks ago. A message was sent to me anonymously through my website. If you go to gavinfish.com, click on contact, you can anonymously send me any information that you want. You can attach files, documents, photos, whatever, and that's what this person did. Sidebar though, real quick. My system, when you send a message to me through my website, my system does not log IP addresses. However, being a web developer and software guy, I know that my server does. It does log IP addresses. I have never gone in to look at IP addresses to try to identify anybody who's reached out to me, but I know they exist and I know where they are because I've been a server admin for 20 years. But the reason I'm telling you that, if you want to stay completely anonymous when you send me something, use a VPN that doesn't retain logs. A VPN like NordVPN or Atlas VPN, one of those will do. That way, if law enforcement ever raided my server and wanted to grab information, they would be grabbing information on a VPN. So anyway, do that if you ever want to remain completely anonymous. Okay, so getting back to my story, sorry to be so long-winded. About 2 weeks ago, I got this anonymous email through my website that had 3 photos attached, and those photos were purportedly photos taken at the crime scene where Abby and Libby were found near the bridge. They're not official. Let me say it this way. If they are real, if they're legitimate, they're not official photos taken by law enforcement. Now, I've spent 2 weeks digging into this, and I personally think that they're legit. I know that it wasn't police that found Abby and Libby. They were volunteers that were in a search party that found the girls. And the EXIF data inside the metadata on the JPEGs is intact. And it contains information. It does not contain GPS information. Man, I wish it did. But it contains information on the phone that the photos were taken with, the time zone that they were in, what time they were taken, and it all matches up. So it matches up to the official story. So I believe I am in possession of 3 photos that are legitimately, they were taken at the crime scene where Abby and Libby were found. So on Wednesday, I'm going to show you those 3 photos. And maybe together we can go through it, and in the comment section, you can let me know why or why not, why you think they are or are not legit, I guess is how I would say that, before I claim, hey, I'm sure that these are legit. Just to maybe make you feel better about it, none of the 3 photos show anything gruesome or salacious or gross. I would never put those public even if I had them. So that's item number one. Wednesday's video is going to be that. I was going to do the first video on the long-term project that I've been working on, but I'm going to put that off a week or two. Because the second thing I want to tell you about is in regards to the Sarah Easton case. And if you have not followed along on the Sarah Easton case on my channel, this is a case where a woman, mother of three, and wife of a small town police chief was shot dead in the head. But we're unsure if she did it to herself or somebody else did it to her. And I'm in touch with the family on this one, like most of my cases. This one kind of hits close to home for me because Sarah was the friend of my little sister. So I know them. And they just want to know what happened to their sister. If they find out that it was indeed self-inflicted, they are comfortable with that. And honestly, so am I, because ultimately we should be seeking truth. We should be seeking fact. We shouldn't be trying to confirm what we believe happened, right? Well, this anonymous letter that came in pointed out several things in the documents that I published to my website that may point to it being self-inflicted. May. And I missed them in my multiple readings of the documents. And so probably next week we're going to go through the questions that I received and the documents that they point to and see if we can try to figure out if Sarah's wound happened at her own hand. You guys who have been following along know that I kind of went to great lengths to try to figure out the distance that the barrel was from Sarah's head. I feel like the closest it could be is 8 inches, but it could be anywhere from 8 to 24 based on my non-scientific, untrained layperson test. Those qualifiers are important, but and so I found it pretty unlikely that somebody would do that to themselves holding the gun far away. Anyway, though, I want to give this idea a fair shot that it's possible. It's possible that she did it to herself. Let's take a look at what the documents say, and let's go over that in a deep dive. So that's what's going to happen over the next 2 weeks. Next Wednesday, just in a couple of days, few days from today, we'll go over the photos that are purportedly from Delphi, from the crime scene where Abby and Libby were found, and then Sarah will be a follow-up video the following week. And then the week after that, we'll be, unless something else drops on my lap, going into my long-term project, which I haven't told you anything about except the patrons that met with me on my Zoom meeting. We talked it over on that. So there are a few people, some select patrons that know what the project is. I hope that it goes over well. I hope you guys like it. But yeah, that's my Sunday Drive update. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you Wednesday. I bid you adieu until then. And I hope you have a good one. Take care.
Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe to my channel. And if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below.